What's going on, everyone? Hopefully, everyone stays warm this weekend. Yeah, it's definitely going to be cold. We got a video here by IGN saying the Xbox's Dev Direct was great, even for PlayStation 5. And they're bringing up why this matters and why it's important for Microsoft to focus on PlayStation 5. Obviously, for the survival of the Xbox brand, definitely as a publisher, which is the most important thing for them now. We definitely got some stuff to talk about here in this video. It is a long one, but we'll get through what we need to get through. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get right into it.
Welcome back to Next Gen Console Watch, our show following all the latest gaming hardware. I'm Damon Hatfield, and as always, I'm joined by Ryan McCaffrey, host of podcast Unlocked, and Max Scoville, host of podcast Beyond. And we are just on the other side of the Xbox Developer Direct. First big showcase of the year. First of all, the big three console manufacturers of the year. Saw several good games. Looked like there's a pretty good reception. We saw Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation, Kiln, and Fable. People seem pretty pleased. And it's an interesting way for Microsoft to be kicking off the 25th anniversary of Xbox, because I believe all of these games are coming to both PlayStation 5 and PC as well. So, Ryan, you being the host of our Xbox podcast, let's get your impressions first.
Well, I think Fable was certainly the thing that I was most curious about and most looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
As it turned out, they told us 3 of the games ahead of time, and the Double Fine game Kiln, which actually had been publicly acknowledged a while back because it was part of their developer sort of 2-week Amnesia Fortnite thing, game jam that Double Fine does every so often.
Okay.
So it wasn't a completely, totally new thing, but it was the first time, they're actually building it into a game now, and they showed us all about that game. But Fable was the headliner coming in, and I think it was the headliner going out. And I thought, for me, this is the 4th time now that Xbox has done these developer directs. This was my favorite one of the 4, and that is largely on the back of Fable, because this is a game and a franchise that used to be one of Microsoft's pillars. You remember in the 360 era, Damon, it was Halo, Gears, Fable, Forza. Those were the...
Yeah, he's right about that. That is very interesting, because usually when you do think about, like, back then, you would just say Halo, Gears, and Forza, right? But actually, Fable was there at that time, and it was that big. And a lot of people did like it. And like I said, this is a game that I think they need to get back into the pillar of the Xbox foundation. And the PlayStation base is definitely a base, along with the PC base, where this time, for the first time ever, compared to before, where it can expand even bigger, because it could have, like I said, a lot more sales day one. And they're looking to make that be a mass appeal. And if Playground nails it, they will be their pillar, because it's like Forza is Xbox's pillar at the moment, where Halo took a huge fall, and so did Gears. And you got a studio like Playground over in England that could have 2 major pillars, not only Forza Horizon 6, but Fable, and then they're both going to be selling potentially 10 million plus. Like, Microsoft could get that going with Fable if they get it going right, or at least get close to that, because you have PlayStation 5 day one and PC day one outside of the Xbox ecosystem. And if you could try to get it to the Nintendo consoles, that would be nice. And there's a way to do it. You just have to know how to develop it a certain way. Like Phil Spencer was saying that one time, if you start off with the lowest common denominator, everything else is easier. But that's not the case for these games, but they could still go and scale that. Definitely what the DLSS updates that are coming out recently, and them being able to get something like Frame Gen, I think we can get things working. Because if you got a game like Arc that is going to be working, you definitely could do that, because you're trying to expand out your publishing power as much as possible in your series. And I think they can do that for sure. So Fable is definitely a game that definitely needs to be a pillar again for them. And not just this, but they need to make another one after that, so that the series can, definitely be huge again. And I hope that's something that's going to happen, because we need more games like this.
Kind of the 4 that people would joke about, like, oh yeah, that's what you get from Xbox, is those 4. And then most of them kind of went away for quite a while, including Fable. And now Fable's coming back in the hands of Playground, the developers, the very, very talented developers of Forza Horizon. And their pedigree is super strong. And I really think that they understood the assignment here after seeing a bunch of this in the developer direct. It seems to capture all of the essence and charm of Fable as this not fantasy action RPG, but fairy tale action RPG with all these, almost a game within a game. I think they even phrased it that way, with all the relationships you can have in the towns throughout the game, of being a landlord and getting married, getting divorced, having kids, and just doing all these sort of other things outside of the main quest. It's gorgeous. It's running on Forza tech, the same engine that the Forza games use.
Yeah.
But it looks spectacular visually. And what was interesting is that Playground had 2 games in this showcase. Yeah. The other, of course, being Forza Horizon 6. One of them is a timed exclusive for Xbox, and one of them, it has a different release strategy, which with Fable, it's day and date on PS5, which to me is clearly all about the fact that Microsoft does look at this as a relaunch of a potentially long-term big franchise, and they want to make the biggest splash possible and have the biggest launch and biggest success possible. And as per the fact that they sold 5 million copies of Forza Horizon 5 on PS5 last year, despite the fact that that game was 3.5 years old, they clearly see PlayStation as a key component of Fable having a successful relaunch. And so it's coming to everything day one. But I was super blown away by Fable, and I know we'll talk about the rest, but thought it was a really strong showcase.
So Max, it seems like these Xbox shows are also for PlayStation gamers now as well. So what were your impressions?
I know what he means by looking at it that way, because when it comes to Forza, you can actually come with that later, because it was a 3.5-year-old game regardless, but it's one of those games to where people are going to wait regardless. So Forza Horizon 6 can come later to PlayStation 5 and still have the same spark as it would if it dropped to day one. It doesn't matter. It's that type of game. Fable's a type of game where it's like, no, that all needs to be ready day one. That's a different approach. You're not guaranteed that success. But I think it's smart to have that there available like that. And then I'm also interested to see, because they haven't said anything, if it's going to have co-op. If it doesn't, I mean, that's still not a big deal. But it could be a big deal if it does. Because first and foremost, you want that experience. And I think if they probably don't include that they can focus more on making it a better single-player game. If that is the case, then I'm okay with that.
Extremely positive. Yeah, I mean, it's very nice to know that these games will not be locked behind a console exclusivity. I guess it was a little surprising. I wasn't. I think I expected Fable to be cross-platform at launch, but what I thought was odd is that Forza acknowledged that the PS5 version was coming, which to me is almost like not really encouraging people to jump on it day one. I think they're just kind of like, if we build it, they will come. This is Forza Horizon 6. People are going to play this game, yes or yes.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, historically we look at timed exclusives, whether it's because one version isn't ready or because it's a deliberate business deal. Usually they just don't acknowledge the things that it's not going to come to day one. I feel like that's almost an afterthought. And it's odd to me that they're like, it's coming out this day for Xbox, and it's going to be on PC, and it's going to be a cloud gaming. It's going to be Game Pass Ultimate, which is all very well and good. And I'll absolutely be playing it there day one, possibly before day one, if they have one of those, silly little add-on things where you get extra cars, because I'm a whale. I'll go for it. But for anybody who's, with a PS5 version, holding out for a PS5 version, I feel like there's almost this thing where it's like, well, if I hold out for PS5 version, it's probably going to be the best version. It's going to be polished. It's going to have maybe extra features. Yeah, I mean, again, they sold 5 million copies of this 3-year-old game, the last one on PS5. At this point, Xbox is the biggest publisher on PS5, which is kind of absurd. But again, it's almost, we're in this bizarre situation where it's almost like Xbox games are operating separate from Xbox as a console. And I mean, Microsoft hasn't been, too vague about this. It seems like they're kind of pushing in that direction, and it's odd. I think there is this. I guess the question is, how do you get PlayStation 5 or PlayStation owners to tune into something like this? Because they want to get their attention, I'm sure. Are we going to see a thing where it's, framed as Xbox Game Studios really kind of hyping up the fact that this is just games, not just for Xbox owners, to get people in the door? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling to watch an Xbox developer showcase, because just a few years ago there was, you'd see that logo. It's like only on Xbox, and play it day one. And it was really emphasizing that you needed to be in one particular spot to experience these games. And now it's kind of like, yeah, wherever you are, just enjoy them when they come out, and they'll come out there eventually.
Yeah, I mean, basically what he just said, because it's like you're calling it an Xbox Dev Direct, but really it's for PlayStation 5 too. You know what I mean? And who knows what else will be included if it's going to be on Nintendo consoles as well. But the thing is, though, is that it's basically seeing that no matter what they do, it's not really for the Xbox base. It's for their competitors, or used to be competitors, for all the generations they've been around, 25 years. You know what I mean? And people seeing that now, I know some people are like, oh man, I know people have accepted that, but even then, like, everything is for PlayStation. So it's like, if you're sitting in the PlayStation world, you don't really have any spaces to worry about, because Sony's going to have what they have as first party. They're going to have what they have with their money hats, and then Xbox is always feeding them too. So it's like they get all that, plus they get better optimization options because they have the PS5 Pro, and FSR 4 or PSSR 2.0 is about to come out. So it just gives you the idea that that's the premium place to play at, and Microsoft doesn't care because they're trying to be a dominant publisher, and they know that's the thing that's left for them. So you might as well get with it. And that's what Satya wants and everybody else. So it's something that people just have to accept. Because I know a lot of people are probably like, yeah, it still kind of feels odd in a certain sense, because usually you would think of that as something to be represented from a team that you're on. But now it's not really so much a team. Like in a team game versus another team, it's literally just for the other team who you're used to seeing some sort of rivalry against. It is definitely interesting and different.
Yeah. If you are a PlayStation gamer, you're getting a double dose of Playground this fall, because there'll be both Forza Horizon 6 and Fable will launch in the fall for PS5. So you got a lot to look forward to if you're on PlayStation.
And I mean, if you're a PS5 Pro owner, you are conceivably getting the best console version of these games.
True.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's, remains to be seen, but that's the most powerful thing out there on the console side. I mean, I'm sure there's PC people with higher powered rigs that are going to blow it out of the water, but yeah, it's kind of surreal to see Xbox taking this approach. I'm a little bit sort of baffled by it. I'm pleasantly surprised because these games all look phenomenal. I'm very excited for really all the above. And, yeah, it's just kind of odd that they're not even burying the fact that it's coming to PS5. That's part of the strategy. That's unusual.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Damon.
I was just gonna say they did bury the lead in that, and even though they announced ahead of time that this developer direct was happening, there was no mention of, hey, PlayStation fans might want to tune in as well. Right, we just saw PS5 mentioned several times during the show, and I don't think this is a big secret. There were not as many people tuning into this as they would a PlayStation State of Play. So my question is, maybe Xbox will want to start, when they announce these things, try to reach across the aisle and say, hey, PlayStation gamers, we're going to have stuff here for you too. You're going to want to tune in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a great point, and I think that's constructive criticism for Microsoft. Yeah, if you want to drive higher tune-in numbers, if you're already making these games for PlayStation, let them know beforehand that all this stuff that we're going to show you is you're going to get a lot of it as well. And I think that's, I'm seeing a lot of reactions in the community in the immediate, post show aftermath here of, oh well, yeah, it was fine, but like I don't need an Xbox for any of this. And I think Microsoft, I'm not sure they care anymore. I mean, in the sense that I think these developer directs, the showcases that they do, they're not trying to sell you an Xbox anymore. They're just trying to sell you the games that they showed. Whereas Sony is still very much with a State of Play or a showcase. They are still trying to sell you a PS5 if you have not bought one already, along with those games. But Microsoft they're really platforming games, not hardware.
Mm-hmm. Well, he just says 100% correct, because you saw that last year with price hikes multiple times, Game Pass going up multiple times, no deals in the holidays, no deals for Christmas, abysmal sales, but they're trying to get that publishing power going. And that's what everybody was saying for the longest anyway. So yeah, there it is. I mean, that's not really an argument. It's right in front of your face, living proof. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no. That's exactly what's happening. Xbox hardware is dead. That's why people have been saying that. That's why we've been saying that. So there's no doubt about that. And do you see them doing sales this year? How? With the way things are about to go up, I'd see another price hike, but they don't care. You see what I mean? It's going to be just like the ROG Ally situation.
No, it makes me wonder if they're going to rethink using the term Xbox front and center. Like Xbox Game Studios, that's the name of it. Mm-hmm. It's self-explanatory, but the box is sort of a abstract concept at this point. They are thinking very much outside the box, if you'll pardon the cliche. Conversely, you look at how a State of Play works, where they show off a bunch of games, even if it's including third-party stuff, and they just won't acknowledge if things are coming to different platforms. Yeah. And there was one State of Play where it showed off a bunch of cool things. It showed off, I think it was maybe the Marathon teaser trailer we first got, and just the Snake Eater Delta, and all this stuff. And it was, very much like play it on PlayStation. It's got the PlayStation noise. And then afterwards, Microsoft tweeted out, they were like, hey, these are 17 of these games are coming to Xbox as well, or whatever number it was. And Microsoft is kind of doing the opposite. It makes me wonder if they're going to reframe Xbox Game Studios as Microsoft Game Studios, or if there's some sort of rebranding on the horizon. Because again, if you put Xbox right there front and center, you're not getting the attention of people who aren't playing in that ecosystem. And clearly they want to get that attention. This could have been a Playground Games developer direct.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So speaking of Playground Games, we got Fable coming in the fall, but then we've got Forza Horizon 6 coming earlier on PlayStation. We know that's coming May 19th now. And Ryan,
on Xbox, coming earlier on Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox, and day one on Game Pass, coming in the fall to PlayStation. But Ryan, that instantly became one of my most anticipated games of the first half of the year, if not the whole year. It looks so good. I really loved Forza Horizon 5, but I also really love Japan. So I just want to do that in Japan.
It's funny. As soon as GTA 6 vacated May, we had this jump in there. We had Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight jump into that May spot, and 007 First Light moved from March back to May for a little extra polish as well. So May, even without GTA 6, is suddenly a huge gaming month. But yeah, Damon, you're absolutely right. I mean, I say this all the time on Unlocked, but Forza Horizon, it has become kind of a victim of its own success, not in terms of critical reception or commercial reception. It's like the biggest moneymaker Microsoft has other than Minecraft, but it just in terms of hype, like it's even somebody that loves Forza Horizon and has since the beginning, I can't, like, I don't have near the same level of hype for Forza Horizon 6 as I do for Fable, because Horizon they just make 10 out of 10 video games every time. And it's just like, yep, new Forza Horizon. Oh, it's in Japan? That's cool. All right. I know it's going to be awesome when it arrives in May. And there's kind of not as much excitement there, but we did see a lot of cool stuff in this one. Namely, they did such a great job of showing off that they really are paying particular attention to Japanese car culture and really trying to build the game around Japan rather than just have it be a Forza Horizon game that happens to be set in Japan. So this is going to be awesome. And it's only now, like 4 months away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know what he means. So you guys got to get the idea here. This was definitely something to react to when it comes to Microsoft's strategy. And though they call it an Xbox Dev Direct, but it's really catered to PlayStation 2 for a big focus. And even Forza it not being available day one still shows that they're doing it because the PlayStation version is very important and they want to get that initial burst, but they know they can come get that mega burst again later on with the optimized Pro version and having that ready, with Fable being ready as well too. So you guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you happy with Microsoft's strategy, or would have liked to see something else? All right, y'all. Peace out. Later. Keep gaming and stay warm. Yeah, it's getting cold.